The Dallas Cowboys are officially back on the quarterback carousel. With Cooper Rush headed to the Baltimore Ravens, the backup spot behind Dak Prescott has quickly become one of the hottest topics in Cowboys Nation. Right now, if you glance at the Cowboys quarterback depth chart, you'll notice just two names, Dak Prescott and Will Grier. That's definitely not ideal if your plan is to stay competitive in the NFL. Let's be honest here, folks. The Cowboys need to beef up their quarterback room, and fast. Now, I know what some fans might say. Hey, we have Will Grier, but let's pump the brakes a bit. Will Grier hasn't thrown a pass in a meaningful NFL game since the 2019 season. Sure, he seems to have earned some love from the coaching staff. And yes, he's hung around the league for a while, but relying on Grier as your immediate backup quarterback? That's just asking for trouble. We've seen Dak Prescott struggle to stay healthy at various points over the last few seasons. And honestly, picturing a scenario where Will Grier has to step in and lead this team to wins is not something that inspires confidence. So, that brings us to the other name that's floating around Cowboys circles, Trey Lance. Now, here's the deal with Trey Lance. Dallas hasn't exactly been shy about indicating their plans with Lance. Essentially, they've signaled pretty clearly they're ready to move on. Lance himself will probably be looking for a fresh start elsewhere, somewhere he can actually compete for playing time and rebuild his career, maybe even stepping down to another league first to get reps before returning as an NFL backup later. It sounds logical, and honestly, it might be his best move. Given all that, the Cowboys need another quarterback, urgently. And they've basically got three roads to take. They can draft one, trade for one, or pick up a veteran in free agency. Trading for a quarterback at this stage feels like a stretch, particularly given how cautious the Cowboys have been historically in dealing assets for backups. So let's take trades off the board. That leaves us with two very realistic options: signing a free agent or selecting someone in the upcoming NFL draft. Now, if you ask me, the draft feels like the most logical spot to find Dak Prescott's new backup. And this isn't just speculation. There's been plenty of buzz indicating that Dallas is leaning heavily toward using a day 3 pick on a quarterback. Why day 3? Because, simply put, the Cowboys have made it abundantly clear they don't intend to invest early round capital at the quarterback position when Dak is already their established starter. No one's drafting a quarterback high when your guy is locked in and highly paid like Dak Prescott. Here's the good news for Dallas. They've got plenty of draft ammunition this year. 10 picks in total, including several intriguing late-round selections. They've got 3 picks in the 5th round alone, picks number 149, 171, and 174, plus 2 6th-rounders and 2 7th-rounders. That 5th round feels like the sweet spot. Dallas has more than enough ammo to snag a quality developmental backup quarterback right there. So, who's realistically going to be available at that stage of the draft? Let's dive into some of the notable quarterback prospects who might fall into that day 3 range. Immediately, you can scratch off the top guys like Cam Ward or Shadur Sanders. Those guys aren't sliding to the 5th round. Same goes for Jackson Dart and Jalen Milroe. Way too talented, way too much upside. They'll likely go earlier. Instead, let's focus on 3 interesting names that Cowboys fans might want to familiarize themselves with: Tyler Shaw from Louisville, Quinn Ewers from Texas, and Will Howard out of Ohio State. Each one comes with his own set of pros and cons. Each offers a unique profile that might appeal to Dallas's needs in different ways. First up is Tyler Shaw, a fascinating quarterback whose career has taken a winding path, from Oregon to Texas Tech, and finally ending up at Louisville, where he quietly put together a pretty respectable season. Under the guidance of Coach Jeff Brom, Shaw found consistency, showed off solid football IQ, and handled Louisville's offensive schemes pretty effectively. Now, he's not the youngest guy in the draft. He'll turn 26 this September, making him older than some quarterbacks who've already played multiple NFL seasons. Think Brandon Weeden vibes, if you remember that draft story. But as a backup quarterback prospect, especially in the 5th round, that's actually okay. You're not drafting him as the franchise guy. You're drafting him as a steadying presence who understands NFL-style concepts, play-action passing, and how to manage a game when called upon. However, the concerns with Shaw revolve around his medical history, which has red flags all over it. Plus, at Louisville, the offense leaned heavily into play action, around 44% of the time, which makes you wonder how he transitioned into a more traditional pro-style scheme. Despite these concerns, if Dallas is looking for a solid, mature presence behind Dak, Shaw could be a reasonable pickup. Just don't pull the trigger before the 5th round. Next up is Quinn Ewers from Texas. Quinn Ewers is a really interesting player to analyze. When you talk about pure football IQ, coaches rave about him. He has great command of Steve Sarkisian's complicated offense at Texas. On paper, that's impressive, and it's exactly the kind of thing that will get NFL scouts intrigued. However, the issue with Ewers is he's just not polished yet at all. Footwork issues, poor decisions under pressure, and overall inconsistency in drop-back passing have raised a lot of red flags. The raw talent is there. He has a strong enough arm, but it's clear he still has a ton of developing to do. Given that reality, drafting Quinn Ewers means you're fully investing in a project quarterback, someone who probably won't be ready to step onto an NFL field for at least another season or two. Could the Cowboys afford that? Sure, but the patience required might be more than some fans want to see. Still, if he's available in round 5, he might be too intriguing for Dallas to pass up. It's the type of risk-reward pick teams often take late on day 3. Then we've got Will Howard from Ohio State, who had a strong run in the college football playoff and has drawn plenty of buzz because of it. Howard has the look and feel of your classic NFL backup quarterback. Good size, decent mobility, and experience playing on big stages. He's not exactly a superstar, but he's got enough talent to step in and handle a game or two without completely falling apart. Exactly what Dallas would want. The downside here is that Howard had some turnover issues. He was occasionally careless with the football. Plus, he had the benefit of a loaded supporting cast at Ohio State, which could mean his stats look better than his actual play. Still, in the 5th round, he's absolutely worth considering, especially if the Cowboys coaching staff feels confident they can coach some of the bad habits out of him. Beyond these 3 names, there are a few other quarterbacks worth at least mentioning as possible day 3 picks. Kyle McCord out of Syracuse, Riley Leonard from Notre Dame, Curtis Rourke from Indiana, Dylan Gabriel of Oklahoma, and Max Brosmer from Minnesota all could potentially be in play. These guys each bring their own unique strengths and question marks, making the evaluation challenging but exciting. Take Kyle McCord, for example. At Syracuse, McCord developed into a surprising gunslinger. After an early season disaster against a tough opponent, he cleaned things up dramatically, throwing 15 touchdowns against only 1 interception down the stretch. His play style might remind you of someone like Jimmy Garoppolo, a player who, in the right offensive scheme, could be a steady, productive passer. His inconsistencies and turnover potential, though, could scare some teams away. Yet the upside might be intriguing enough for Dallas to take a late-round flyer on him. Curtis Rourke from Indiana, meanwhile, draws comparisons to Mason Rudolph, though not always in the best way. He's tall, can move a bit, and has shown toughness. He even played through a partially torn ACL, which demonstrates impressive grit, but also raises concerns about durability long-term. He lacks elite arm strength, though, especially on those throws down the middle, making him potentially limited at the NFL level. Rourke might be a safer backup choice, but he's probably not someone fans would get overly excited about. Similarly, Max Brosmer from Minnesota doesn't flash elite traits, but he's been consistent and careful with the football throughout his college career. His main weaknesses are an underwhelming deep ball and a tendency to take unnecessary sacks, limiting his upside significantly. Still, Dallas might see value here if they're looking purely for a steady, low-risk quarterback to hold a clipboard behind Dak. In terms of prospects that probably won't get today, 3, Shatter Sanders, Jalen Milroe, and Jackson Dart seem unlikely to slide to the Cowboys' preferred 5th-round pick. But Dallas fans shouldn't stress. There's plenty of intriguing talent in that later range. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The whispers have begun. Could Josh Allen, the star quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, be making his way to the Dallas Cowboys? The possibility of Allen joining America's team has set social media ablaze, fueling intense speculation and excitement among fans. Imagine the combination of his powerful arm, mobility, and leadership joining forces with the Cowboys roster, already filled with talent. The question on everyone's mind, could this become a reality, and what would it mean for both teams? Josh Allen has become one of the most exciting quarterbacks in the NFL since his breakout season in 2020. His combination of speed, size, and passing ability has turned heads year after year. The Buffalo Bills, under his leadership, have made the playoffs 6 times and secured 5 consecutive division titles. His impressive performances, especially in high-pressure situations, have made him a fan favorite and a franchise cornerstone for the Bills. But rumors swirling about Allen's potential move to Dallas raise the stakes to a whole new level. Allen's recent performances have only added fuel to the fire. While the 2024 season started strong with a 3-0 record, Allen's struggles with injuries and inconsistency have led to some tough losses. Despite this, his resilience has been undeniable. From a memorable 4-touchdown game against the Arizona Cardinals to breaking records for total touchdowns, Allen has proven he can carry a team. But with the Bills reshuffling their roster and some questions lingering about his future in Buffalo, could the Cowboys be looking to make a move? What makes this potential trade even more tantalizing is the Cowboys' ongoing quest to find a quarterback that can bring them back to the Super Bowl. Dak Prescott, while a solid leader, has faced criticism for his inconsistency in big moments. With a quarterback like Allen, the Cowboys would arguably have one of the most dangerous offenses in the NFL. Pairing him with Dallas' talented receiving core, including C.D. Lamb, and a stout defense could be the recipe for a championship run that has eluded them for decades. The speculation around Allen's future is far from over, but if the Dallas Cowboys manage to pull off this stunning acquisition, the NFL landscape could shift dramatically. The combination of a top-tier quarterback with a team full of potential could make the Cowboys a true contender for years to come. Keep an eye on the next few weeks as this rumor continues to unfold. Could Josh Allen really be packing his bags for Dallas? Only time will tell, but the thought of it is enough to get any football fan buzzing. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.